Hello everyone, how's it going? So I spent about 15 hours on the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta. I reached level 20, which is the max level at the moment, and I want to give my impressions about the game. Now, I'm not the most hardcore multiplayer player, but I've played every Call of Duty since its release, and I've beaten every single one on veteran difficulty, so hopefully that lends some credibility to what I'm talking about here. So let me talk about the negatives first. So the biggest negative right now is the packet loss of the game, or is it packet distribution? Either way, there is a huge stuttering within the game, and the issue is caused by the high resolution textures. It happens within the first 2 or 3 minutes of the map where there are these random stutterings that happen because the game is just trying to load all these high texture assets while at the same time attempting to complement all the players on the map. Now, I saw this heavily on Mosh Pit. It didn't happen as prevalently on Team Deathmatch or the objective games, but you're about to see it right here. It happened in real time. There we go. That's it, what I'm talking about. Now, that happened a lot during my time during the beta, and I hope they fix it before the game gets released, but Call of Duty is notorious for launching in very broken states. They have server issues, network issues, a lot of problems at launch, and since this is going to be the first always online Call of Duty, yes, the campaign and the multiplayer will be online only, they're going to have to resolve this issue. It's going to be a major problem at launch. Now, the second biggest problem is definitely the spawn points. Now, I did see this more prevalently in Mosh Pit, and it is acceptable in the sense that it's a high-octane match where everyone's respawning almost instantly, but it's still unacceptable because the way Call of Duty spawning usually works is that it has this type of aurora around you, and most games do this, where if you're in a certain part of the map, your closest spawns will only cater to your teammates. They won't cater to the enemy team. Unfortunately, this game seems to ignore that, and I've had instances where the enemy team will literally spawn next to me and vice versa, and it's quite ridiculous. Again, I get that in Mosh Pit this is going to happen occasionally because of everyone running around, but I've seen it happen in Team Deathmatch and the objective-based matches like Derelict, and it's just really annoying because it just leads to a lot of spawn camping. I've had instances where astute players were able to just spawn camp the hell of the enemy team and vice versa. Modern Warfare 1, the remake, was pretty bad with this, and I'm just seeing flashbacks to that instance. Now let's talk about the actual multiplayer action. So right now the time to kill, I would say, is a mix between Cold War and Modern Warfare 2, the remake. Like, it's between those two, and it's to complement the new omnidirectional system, since players are able to essentially sprint in every direction they go to and dolphin dive off that type of sprint, except for forward. I believe forward is the only way you can do a tactical sprint. I never was able to do it backwards, or at least I never noticed. It's definitely a brand new system, and it's hard to grasp at the beginning, but eventually it'll become second nature. You just have to remind yourself you can sprint left and right and back, and it works pretty well in the new time to kill system. Like, I never felt like I was killing players too quickly and vice versa, unless you talk about snipers. Right now, the meta right now is the Jackal, which is apparently the pre-order gun, which is absolutely broken, and sniper rifles, which basically kill you in one shot no matter where you shoot the person. Like, I got shot in the leg and it was an instant kill. Definitely, I'm not a fan of quick-scoping sniper rifles because people can run around with them like they're submachine guns, but that's just how Call of Duty's always been since, I would say, Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2. Either way, I'm not a fan of it, but it's just the way things are. It's the ecosystem at this point. But the Jackal is definitely the most broken gun in the game. Like, if you want to be competitive, you're going to have to use this gun until they finally nerf it when, you know, the pre-orders are up and they got the maximum amount of money when people have stopped breaking the game. It's like with any of those Warzone skins when they said, oops, we accidentally put an unfair feature that we didn't know was in the game. Everyone buys it, and now they fix it. That's how I feel like this gun is going to be like. Like, you need it right now. As for the other guns, I did try all of them. The large machine guns, they're okay. The shotguns, they have pretty decent range to them, especially if you hold down the sights. I kind of wish they bring back the Olympia, but that's just my opinion. And ultimately, no, I'm a fan of the shotgun. You only get one of them. The assault rifle is a no-brainer. It's literally the gun that you can use if you just want something that's comfortable and good to use. But definitely, you want the Jackal and just use the Enforcer class and you'll just do pretty fine. So what about the maps? Now, I've played mostly on Gala and Pit because those maps I preferred over the Team Deathmatch Derelict. Like, Derelict was definitely my favorite map. But ultimately, those would be my top 3 choices. I didn't really care for the other maps. I felt like they were pretty big, but You know, I prefer small condensed maps. I like the high octane action, and I felt like I was leveling up a lot quicker when I played these types of modes than the others. Like Team Deathmatch felt like it was dragging along too long for the amount of experience I can get from just doing Mosh Pit. Maybe they'll adjust that, but I just felt like it was better to do the map that would yield the most experience and the one I had the most amount of fun. Now, in terms of the maps themselves, they're okay. Like, I really have no complaints about them. I kind of wish that they didn't have the 3-lane system for a lot of the Mosh Pit maps, but, you know, it's just the way they decide to design them. I wish they... I know they're going to bring back Nuketown. It's just like when. It's not about if, it's when. I'm stating this based on very limited information, but I'm almost certain Nuketown's going to come back when it comes to this game. It's practically built for it. But what else am I going to talk about? Oh yeah, the loadout system. Well, the loadout works pretty okay. It's the same traditional system, pick guns, loadouts. The new perk system I kind of like a lot. So basically we have 6 perks at the moment, and you would choose from one of the 3 sets that are available, red, blue, and green. And if you choose all 3 perks within the red slot, for example, you get a bonus 4th perk, which I think is a pretty good idea. It's basically a set bonus. You get all the red perks, here you go, you get a set bonus. Now the set bonus is always exact, it doesn't change, but I feel like it's beneficial based on those perks. Like for example, the red options are all about high octane tactical in your face action, just go and rush in. So they give you an option to heal every time you kill someone, so it allows you to keep running and gunning people. Now, what I didn't like was then when I reached level 20 is that you get the option for a 4th perk. I felt like that gave you an unfair advantage, at least for me it did. Like I felt like I was just like a little more powerful than the players who didn't have that. I really hope this is just a beta bonus and it's not going to be within the game, because I feel like with Call of Duty games, they've kind of strayed from the formula where players always had that level playing field. Like in Call of Duty 4, whether you were level 1 or level 55, you could still pick the baseline classes and still have a viable chance. But in this game, with that 4th perk, which technically leads to a 5th perk, if you get the bonus set bonus, it just leads to a little bit of a disadvantage. Yes, the level 55 person did have more options of how they want to customize their classes, but I always felt like Call of Duty kind of strayed from giving players who need, like, giving that fair leveling system. Granted, I just stated, like, literally the pre-order gun for this game is broken in the beta, so I'm pretty sure that was done on purpose to show players, hey, you want this gun, you better pre-order right now, and then later on we'll, you know, nerf it. So that's something that they're going to probably do. As for everything else, I mean, it plays just like Call of Duty. I feel like if you're into Call of Duty, you're going to like this game. There's really no changes to it. It's the base same old, same old. There's really nothing that different about it, and this isn't going to change your mind. It doesn't have the same heart and soul as older Call of Duties. I'm sure a lot of players have already stated this, like the way the text look from the text boxes you can see here, and the way that the characters just talk to one another. I feel it just lacks that atmosphere and presentation that the older Call of Duty games had. Again, I'm 34 years old, so if I played through a lot of military shooters, I don't know, it just feels very campy and arcadey, and that's just how Call of Duty has become right now. Nicki Minaj running around with an assault rifle, and WWE wrestlers now able to equip and go into war. It's just the way things are. So I feel like if none of the other more recent Call of Duties in the last 10 years haven't changed your mind and you've kind of fallen off the franchise, this won't change your mind. Absolutely not. But for everyone else, yeah, you'll get more of the same. It's the same turn off your brains action that a lot of us know of, and it doesn't really change from that. Ultimately, I'm happy with what we're getting here, but it's also nothing new and nothing I feel like it's different. And one reason I can say that is the hostage system. So they have this brand new mechanic I've only executed once, and I wasn't recording while I did it. Basically, you can grab someone from behind and then just drag them around. I was like, this is cool, I guess, but I feel like it doesn't complement the omnidirectional system. You're like slower, you have to drag this person around, and someone could just come behind you and shoot you in the back. Like, literally, that's what happened to me. Like, I dragged this person around, and they just shoot me in the back. Like, I feel like it's just a troll system. Like, Gears of War 2 have had this since, you know, back then. And I'm sure there's a gaming before Gears of War has had this. But you know, it's not really a viable tactic. Maybe someday an esports player will discover a way to adequately use this system, but as far as I can tell, it just slows down the action. It's just a way to troll the other person and mock them. That's the only way I see this. But tell me, what do you think about it if you used it effectively? I'd love to hear other people's opinions. I talked to a few people while I was playing with, and they were like, yeah, we used it once and it really wasn't that big of a deal. In fact, I saw more players say I won't use it because it slows me down so much. But tell me what you think in the comments below. If you played the beta, what do you think of it? And I'd love to hear other people's opinions about it. So, till next time, thanks for watching. Bye.